Hey Ben.
Hey.
Good morning. I'm Andrew.
Good morning, Andrew.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
So
too.
I'm just going to ask you a couple questions here this morning. And we'll
Sure.
get on. So did you have any trouble finding the bank today?
No, no trouble at all. And actually, I'm a member of the bank here.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So what do you know about our organization here?
I did a little bit through banking with you guys, and I did some online research, and it seems like you won the 2011 Best Award for nicest atmosphere to work in. And I was like, wow, that's pretty prestigious. So.
Yeah, very good. So why did you decide to apply for the teller position we have open?
I decided to apply for the position because I worked with a lot of customers in my previous job. I just came right out of college. I graduated from Eastern Mennonite University, as you can see on my resume. And we used to work with a bunch of, I did telemarketing, so we worked with a lot of people who used to go to EMU, and we tried to collect money from them to get more grants and stuff like that. And so I had a lot of experience on the computer, plugging things in, taking care of checks when they would come in, and just communicating with customers. And I said, thinking to myself, what kind of job would be close to this? Bank telling.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years?
5 to 10 years, I like the opportunity to move up. I really enjoy human resource management. I'm really good at working with people, so I'd really like to find a position where I can move up in the company.
Okay.
So a spot I can stay in for a while.
Yeah, good. And what other activities do you enjoy outside of your work?
Outside of work, I'm heavily involved with my church, leading Bible studies. I enjoy golfing. I'm into cars, but now I'm engaged, so I can't have that hobby anymore.
What was your most current job, and what was the reason you're no longer there?
My most current job was when I was an undergrad at EMU, and doing that telemarketing thing. And so obviously I left there because I'm not going to school. I just graduated from that company.
And what were some of your
graduated from school?
What were some of your responsibilities there?
Responsibilities, kind of like what I told you a little bit earlier, just basically handling the customers' questions, calling them up, and just asking if they would be willing to provide some money, since it is a private institution, so we don't get a whole bunch of money from the government and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then just taking care of the checks when they came in. That's pretty much it.
Good. So do you have any experiences with banking or working with numbers?
Yeah, I would say just pretty much punching in into the computer, kind of what a bank teller does, the different checks and money orders that we get from the people who we were calling. Yeah, so I would say it's pretty similar.
And so I guess you were always interacting with other people too on a regular basis then?
Yeah.
Sounds like that.
Yeah, we sometimes had to call like 100, 200 people a day, so yeah, it was busy.
And in this telemarketing job, did you ever deal with an angry or difficult customer, and how did you deal with them?
That's a good question. Not too often do they get angry, because usually when you're calling people who went to school here before to get money, you have to be very, very nice and sincere and stuff. We had a couple of people who got a little frustrated because they didn't understand the procedure to sending the money and how it worked as a tax write-off for them and stuff. So I deal with some frustration, but not too many angry people.
Okay. And if you ever had to make a quick decision without any good information, what did you do in order to make the best decision possible?
Sure. That did happen a couple of times. A couple of customers or people who were calling, they weren't sure how it worked on the tax write-offs, because they have a tax write-off for doing that, and I had to just pause right there and say, can you hold on a quick second? I grabbed my supervisor or someone who was more knowledgeable than I, and it wasn't a big deal. I feel like you never have to make a snap decision.
Good. So what is an accomplishment or two that you're satisfied with in regards to your telemarketing job?
Sure. We had our supervisor setting goals for us, so we had to have 100 calls, and maybe 20% of them would have to be sales. We like to call them sales. And in a couple of days, I would have over 150 calls with probably about 40% sales, so I always felt like I was hitting the mark.
Good.
Or achieving a little bit more.
Yeah, very good. So how did you deal with stresses or pressures with your job?
Didn't have too much stress or pressures. The supervisor was very nice at EMU. So I really can't think of too many examples where that came up. There's a couple of examples like I told you where the customer got frustrated, but like I said earlier, I just said, hey, can you just hold on a quick second? Just grab someone who's more knowledgeable. So I didn't make a snap decision or anything there where I felt pressured.
So what seems to motivate you and make you excited to come to work every day?
I am motivated by opportunities to advance in the company. Sincerely, I just like being around people. I'm a people person, so that just motivates me to have a conversation and helping people get in and get out with a smile on their face. That sounds cliche, but it's truly what I enjoy.
Okay. And what would you say your greatest abilities are in relation to the job that you're applying for?
Greatest abilities, I have strong computer skills. I can learn any system. I came right out of college, and my generation grew up with computers, so I feel I can master any program you send my way.
Okay.
And I, graduating college, I took accounting, intermediate accounting, so number crunching is pretty simple for me. So anything that bank teller would come up with, I can do it pretty easily. And then I also had that customer service experience with calling different EMU graduates.
Right.
So.
Okay. And as a teller, how do you plan on contributing to the success of this company?
I plan on contributing to the success of the company through just being genuine and taking the skills I learned from EMU and just applying them to this job.
Okay. Very good. Well, that's it. That's all I have for you today. So thank you.
Awesome.
It's good to meet you.
Nice to
and
meet
we'll
you
let
too.
you know.
Sure.